How long have you been planning with this whole Arizona CityFest Season of Service team, this big season and service initiative?
I've been at it for a year. The Luis Palau organization is now 4 years into this model of the Season of Service. So we are the 30th city worldwide to do this. But our team started assembling about a year and a half ago, and then I jumped on in January to kind of coordinate these service projects for the year and a half that this was running. So,
Awesome. What's an everyday like for you?
That's a great question. Yesterday was a great example of an everyday. So I have staff meetings sometimes. I meet with a lot of pastors and church leaders and faith leaders to try to coordinate what they want to do. And then like yesterday, I was with a group of people who work with the homeless and some actual homeless people themselves. And we talked about what is it that you would like to participate in service and what are your current needs. So a day for me is a lot of strategy, trying to build coalitions among the faith and government and civic pieces and business actually too, and try to figure out where are the resources, human resources more than financial, and then what are actual practical needs that we can meet through our cities, through our local governments, and then actually people on the ground who do great things every day that no one probably knows what they're doing. And this way we can come alongside and help them out.
Awesome. How many people are on the team for this service initiative?
Wow. Well, our staff here is only 12 people, but volunteer-wise, there's actually probably hundreds of people. So we've already had 15,000 people volunteer in projects in the last 3 months. So the teams kind of widen. If you pick an area like hunger, there's a team of people working as kind of the head of that, volunteer, and then they kind of get their resources out there and their needs out there. So our staff's small, but the volunteer base is gigantic.
Has this taken a lot of money being raised to make this event happen?
It's going to take a lot of money. A lot of what we're raising is because we're going to do a big festival in March at Tempe Town Lake Park to celebrate all the work. But it's been a $2 million project, and half of that really is the party. The other half is these kind of staffing issues and resource issues to kind of get the collaborations meeting together. So not a ton of money, actually, if you consider the amount of things that are going on, because most of it is volunteer-led or done within a local congregation.
Have you had any standout like testimonials of people who have either served or have been served that have emailed you or called you and just said, this has really changed my life?
Yeah, but the first thing that just comes to my mind is there was a family who got their house cleaned up in South Phoenix by these congregations, and it was a woman who just couldn't get to her yard work, and the city was going to get on her. And her comment back, as all these people were painting and mowing and putting new gravel down for her, and then they did a big lunch together, she said, sometimes people knock on my door and want to talk about God. She says, but these are the kind of people that I'd rather talk to. So I think this love in action is really a testimony to the things that we want to be known for. I also do love the fact that we're trying to meet real need, that we're not just making up something. We're asking our local governments, what do you want? We've met with our mayors. What are things, the governor's initiatives, that we can actually target things that the people around are saying these are the areas we could use help with. So those have been fun stories to hear back to.
You have some incredible impact days that have gone on since September, and I know that they're going to go all the way through February, and even some in March before the Arizona CityFest festival. So can you tell me a little bit about those?
Yeah, sure. In October, we had our first impact day. It was focused on hunger, public education. So a lot of different projects went on as far as partnerships between public schools, specifically like going in, remodeling teachers' lounges, going in, doing paint jobs, spreading bark dust, all kinds of different things focused on public education. This past month was hunger, and so I had a global and a local focus. So I think there are 5 different sites where people gathered and did food packing for global initiatives with Feed My Starving Children. And then at the same time, many churches and organizations were involved in a major food drive for Arizona and for all the food banks here. And So the first Impact Day in October, a little over 5,000 people participated in different projects all over the valley. And this past Impact Day, a little over 5,000 again got involved.
What are the ages of the people that are serving?
Well, this past, the Hunger Project, it was a lot of families were involved, especially the food packing. I mean, so you had kids, you had their parents, you had a lot of college students, teenagers. So sort of, I mean, it went all across the spectrum. As far as
When you're talking about college students, I know that social media is a huge influence in their life today. Do you feel like utilizing that for this whole service initiative has been really impactful? Do you think that's really drawn a lot of students to your service events?
I think so. I wish it were stronger. We do have a Facebook, Facebook Arizona CityFest. And there's probably close to 3,000 people that are involved in that. A lot of them are student age. So, I think social media, it's one of the things that we like to do. And, we have our Twitter as well. And I think a lot of information has been, given out through the Facebook page especially. And, we do have a lot of people part of that.
What is your overall mission as part of this team for the Arizona CityFest season of service?
Number one, it's to unify people around the felt needs of Arizona. And through service. I mean, everybody can serve. It doesn't matter what stripe, if you're a business person, a person of faith, a person that works, in the civic realm, you can serve. And so it's really uniting people around that concept is, you can help somebody, you can make an impact. Secondly, it's to make sure that in, bringing people to the table is how can you continue that, on a sustainable matter and, see this go forward past, we're going to end this with a big celebration March 19th and 20th at Tempe Town Lake. But how can this go past March 19th and 20th? How can next year, the season of service be even stronger with more people coming to the table and saying, hey, we can make an impact in our respective communities? So that's our vision, for Arizona, and that's the vision of the local committee here.
Can you tell me a little bit about that celebration on the 19th and 20th?
Yeah, it'll be a big family-friendly celebration at Tempe Town Lake, 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. We'll have extreme sports, so the BMX and the FMX, the skateboarding, all that, with some pretty big names like Kyle Loza, who's a gold-winning FMXer. You'll see him on the Mountain Dew or the Dew Games and things like that. So we'll have presentations, in the extreme sports. We'll also have a big family fun zone with, all the jumping castles and the face painting, so, people can bring their kids out. A lot of the sports people from around the valley are going to be out there, signing autographs and interactive games, things like that. Then in the evening, we'll just have a lineup of artists, perform. We'll also have a message by Luis Palau, who's a world-renowned author, speaker, radio show host. And so it's just going to be fun for everybody. Kicks off about 2 o'clock, goes to about 10 o'clock, both March 19th and 20th.
In one sentence or a few words, how would you describe the Arizona CityFest season of service?
I would describe the season of service as a catalytic movement to bring together the faith, the business, the civic community to address the needs of the valley.